So I finally watched The Whale, finally. And all I gotta say is, it was pretty great. I actually watched the play on YouTube before seeing the movie, and I found the story to be a little basic, but still anchored by the subject matter and the chain of events. So what compelled me to make this video? Well, I want to ask you dear viewers a question. When you watch Brendan Fraser in any film, what's the first thing you notice about his performance? His line delivery, his comedic timing, his energy, his charisma? If you said either of those, you're right, but you're also wrong. What I noticed in The Whale that added so much to his performance was his eyes. Brendan Fraser, to be perfectly honest, is a very pretty guy, but he's also a very expressive actor. You know the term, eyes are the window to the soul? Well, Brendan's eyes truly communicate what his soul is communicating. This small detail is what, in my opinion, creates the emotional effectiveness of his character in The Whale, and why you just couldn't cast anyone else in this role. You need someone with eyes like Brendan Fraser's to truly communicate his character he plays beyond the dialogue that he delivers. Film is a visual medium, and this comes from the performances we see. Now, screenwriting also is required to be visual, but the actors bring the extra layer to what makes this medium so visual. Brendan Fraser has already shown time and time again that he is a man of clear expression. He can communicate solely through his facial expressions. This was needed in order for us to empathize with Charlie. But what makes this feel far from manipulative is how Samuel D. Hunter wrote his character. Charlie is not a good person, he's just not. That's just as blunt as it gets. And he's paying for all his mistakes, even carrying them in the form of his obesity. But Fraser allows the humanity to shine through by his facial expressions, especially in his eyes. Aronofsky understood this off the bat when he suggested casting Fraser.
The main rule I gave him was you can't in any way interfere or cover Brendan's main instrument, which was his face. So Adrian was able to sculpt something which didn't interfere with his instrument, and all of the emotions that are in the film is this guy.
Charlie is in a way reflecting the humanity in all of us, allowing for room for us to make a choice, to forgive, to understand, or to just simply observe. And in my opinion, this is what makes Fraser's performance a tour de force. Fraser not only took on the difficult task of playing a morbidly obese character, but his natural features allow Charlie to be the most human character I've seen in 2022, honestly. Unlike something like Disney or classic films, even musicals, where the eye is emphasized with characters that the film wants you to like, Aronofsky challenges us to look through the eyes of a man that we're not supposed to like. Give this role to someone like Tom Cruise and the audience members would absolutely hate this character. Not Tom Cruise, but they would definitely not emphasize with Charlie if Charlie was played by somebody without the eyes of Fraser's. You need to read his facial expressions and how he brings out the soulful heart of the main character beyond his flaws. And Fraser himself is a very kind-hearted person. His heart is as big as the character he plays, and you can truly see the power in his eyes. You just want to walk up and just hug the guy. He really is a man of expressions, and you just can't look past his eyes. They communicate so much emotion. This is also supported by the cinematography in The Whale, which was intentionally chose to close in on Fraser's expressions as he's able to communicate every emotion of his character perfectly. The amount of prosthetics that were actually placed using a 3D model was copied for his costume design. And like Aronofsky has already said, he can't let the makeup impede the face, because so many films and TV shows want us to laugh at these type of characters, using makeup to impede the true face for the sake of a punchline, unfortunately, while Fraser's allows us to see a clear human face with an unappealing appearance surrounding that face. It's genius casting, I must admit. And the crazy thing is that it doesn't ever feel manipulative. Even from a distance, the camera knows how to block Fraser when Aronofsky wants us to see the eyes in the face. And I think this is also supported by very clever lighting. Now, this is just my opinion. I think this also appeals to Aronofsky's directing. He's always been known as a very expressive director, sometimes lacking subtlety, but that can be his strength. So by the end of the film, the transparent feeling comes full circle with Charlie's eyes looking toward the light he sees before his soul leaves his body forever. But what I love about this movie is that many characters' eyes are emphasized. I think this is why Aronofsky chose to film this with a 3:4 aspect ratio, to emphasize focus on these characters and their faces and their expression, and this is strengthened by the performances. It allows an enclosement of focused emotions, and this is what's making me appreciate the filmmaking aspect more and more I think about it. While I do think this is a very flawed movie in a lot of places, I do feel Aronofsky successfully took the adaptation of the play and created something that truly immerses you in a dark room full of emotions, pain, anger, and humanity, with small glimpses of light. And this is what allowed Brendan Fraser to be able to emit a powerhouse of the best acting he's done in years. Good job, Fraser, and good job, Aronofsky. And peace out and love y'all.